Greetings, my fellow Watsons, it's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite albums, and today I'm going to be doing another mini albums review where I talk about multiple albums in one video because I am running out of time. So, first of all, chat pile, cool world. New Chat Pile album, Cool World. This is their sophomore album since their debut album, God's Country, released a couple years back that I really liked. And honestly, it's more of the same. It's more of the same noise rock, hardcore, a little bit of sludge metal, but it's still so damn good. The album opener, I Am Dog Now, has the classic Chat Pile with harsh, dissonant guitar riffs, psychotic vocals, banging drums. It sounds like Daughters, but more industrial, but less stylish. There is an impeccable, angry energy that I really love. The track Shame is surprisingly kind of catchy. It has a grunge rock flair to it, probably my favorite on the album, or at least one of my favorites. Frownland might be a reference to the film, but I love the shouty vocals. It's very much Idols-esque, like early Idols. Funny Man is a track that touches on generational trauma and attachments, and the pummeling drums are ferocious on this track. The track Tape has the grunge riffs that sort of makes a comeback, and I love the loud and quiet vocal refrains alternating with each other on the track. The New World is super cynical and pessimistic. It's about the world, it's about society, it's about how fucked up humans are. Mask is, of course, a track about masculinity, which I'm very much interested in. I really like talking about toxic masculinity and writing about it. And essentially this track is about bottling up emotions, and it just oozes with testosterone and pain and suffering. And the album ending, No Way Out, is a fantastic ending, really conclusive. There are some tracks here and there that is a little bit too spacey or a little bit too simple, but overall this is definitely a highlight of the year for me. I wish I could give myself more time to talk about this album, but unfortunately I don't. Feeling an 8 out of 10. Second album I'm going to be talking about is the new Oranssi Pazuzu album, Muntautuya. Muntautuya. Yes. Kiitos. So, Finnish metal band Oranssi Pazuzu is back with a new album here, and I've talked about their last two albums, and I like them both. They have been amazing, and they're back with another really amazing, well done, well written, well produced album that I really enjoy. This album is more electronic than ever, though. This is metal, yes, but the band is slowly creeping towards ambient and psychedelic territory, and there are so many moments on the album that just feel cinematic, like, goddamn, can you please score a horror film? Because I would watch it just for the score. The album opener, Bioalchemisti, has the buzzing bass and the consistent drums, strange metallic tones, drony surreal female vocals at the end. It's like a horse race but deranged because of how pummeling and fast it is. The title track is even more electronic and sci-fi. It's kind of glitchy, kind of robotic. The drums have this hip-hop beat. I feel like I'm listening to a Massive Attack song or something. Hauta Tuli is sees the hip hop beat continues. I don't know why, but like it's so interesting to hear a hip hop beat on this track. This is literally the same drum beat as All I Need by Radiohead. You're all I need. Boom 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 boom. It just has that beat. But on top of it, it's drony, it's weird, it's crushing, it's amazing. Valotus is the noisiest track on the album, very explosive, ear-piercing, eardrums breaking. The last part of the track is so crushing, it's basically white noise. And the album, the next track, Ikikarme, goes for a more jazzy route with skipping cymbals and despondent pianos and weird noisy samples. It's very spooky, very apt for the Halloween season, I guess. and really great track as well. So yeah, 8 out of 10 on this album. Really good. Yes. Following this, I'm going to be talking about 2.5 more Japanese albums. First of which is Perfume with Nebula Romance, Part 1. So, Perfume, legendary J-pop trio. They have been making music and they have been the flagship, one of the trailblazers of J-pop since the mid-2000s. They are freaking veterans. And if you like Japanese music and you don't know who Perfume is, question yourself. So anyways, Perfume. In the last few weeks, I've been listening to a lot of them, especially the tracks Electro World and Chocolate Disco, and also Perfect Star, Perfect Style. And once again, they have collaborated with legendary J-pop producer Nakata Yasutaka, who is also responsible for so many other great legendary J-pop artists, including Kyari Pamyu. And honestly, Perfume, they're in their 30s now, still making music in the mid-2020s. I didn't expect much, but honestly, the album is not that bad. Sure, the vocals sometimes feel kind of dated and weak, but and sometimes they don't have the same energy as they do before, but the production on this album is just so good sometimes. Nakata Yasutaka is such a damn good producer, and he brings back a lot of old school J-pop with a mix of city pop, and that's a great fucking idea. Like, modern J-pop artists should start bringing back old nostalgic J-pop. So there are a few tracks that I love. Love Cloud has the sugary synths, the rubbery bouncy beat, changing vocal chords, saxophone and keyboard breakdowns. Even in this late era of Perfume, Yasutaka Nakata does not restrict himself from having fun. The single Sumiko Disco is another banger. This track brings back the city pop or 80s, 90s J-pop. It has the modern, updated bassy synths and the cowbells, yet hooks that are genuinely catchy and very nostalgic and retro for itself. And Jikuka, the second last track, or Time Flower, genuinely beautiful and surreal moment because it's like a popified folk hymn. It kind of sounds like a theme song to a Studio Ghibli film almost. It's very serene and peaceful, yet kind of psychedelic and a little sci-fi. And then to end off the album, we have this super sugary and fun ending, which I don't know why I didn't write down the title of the track. I totally should. Mobius. Yes, that's the name of the track. Super sugary and fun ending. It's definitely a release of tension from the tension that is built up from the last track. I love the disco dance beats, the nostalgic chords, the bass boosted synths. And sure, some tracks on this album sound a bit dated. Some of the tracks here sound a little bit too plain, but overall, this is genuinely not bad, and I like it more and more the more I listen to it. So, 7 out of 10. Chocolate Disco. Shibata Satoko, Japanese singer-songwriter, folk instrumental person. She's back with a new album, My Favorite Things, and I was quite surprised because earlier this year she released Your Favorite Things, but as it turns out, this is basically Your Favorite Things, but the acoustic, unedited, unmastered version of Your Favorite Things. So everything here is, the entire track list is literally the same, but it's performed, recorded differently. And honestly, some tracks are just downgraded. Like tracks like Synergy and White Chair are two tracks that I like from the album, but they benefited from the summery, modern, squeaky, clean production, and the raw, rough around the edges acoustic version of them just don't really work out all that much. And then guitar ballads remain pretty and gorgeous and well written on this album. We have Utsumuki and Selfish, both tracks I also believe benefited from the rough, raw vibe that this album is radiating. Overall, this is more of the same with my favorite thing, your favorite things, but I prefer your favorite things over my favorite things simply because the production on the former seems to work better for the type of music that she's trying to make. But not bad. Check this artist out. Feeling a 6 on this album. Finally, I'm going to be talking about an EP, a collab EP between Haru Nemuri Haru, and Frost Children. Now, Haru Nemuri is an artist that I've been checking out since 2017. She made some really good music, but I think she slowed down and fell off the tracks a little bit in the last couple of years. Her music has become more and more formulaic and less explosive and interesting. So this is when this collab comes in, which is a very unlikely collab. Also, I had no idea who Frost Children is until this EP. Their EP is called Soul Kiss, and this is very interesting. Frost Children essentially does dance, pop, and pop punk, and it's a very interesting complementary genre to Haru Nemuri's usual rambly, almost deranged rock spoken word. The album opener Daijoubu desu is, I hated it at first because I follow Haru Nemuri on Instagram, and she posts these Instagram stories and reels all the time with the song, and I keep hearing the chorus and it becomes really annoying. It just sounds like haha, look cool Japanese, daijoubu desu, daijoubu. It's like it sounds very silly the first time I heard it, but listening to the whole track, it turns out to be this fun, cranky, metallic, electronic banger, and I liked it way more. It sounds like something Justice would have made. Then the second track, Burn, has more pop-punk backbone to it and break beats, really fun smashing of genres. Supernatural has this early 2010s YouTube dance pop music edge to it, and I mean that in a good way. There's something very throwback about the track. The last two tracks are not as good. We have Bad Things, which is a straight up emo rock song. It's a bit basic for what it's going for. And Get Well Soon has dense layers of distorted guitars, and Haru sings on it, but I don't think the track builds up too much. But overall, still a really good EP. I ended up liking it way more than I thought I would. And yeah, feeling a 7 on this thing as well. So, have you listened to these albums? Comments below, let me know if you want more, and thanks for watching. I gotta go now, I have a meeting, I'm always busy, life,